Good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday. I got my witch hat on because I don't like the sun in my face. Because when I was in Texas, I was outside working out for a couple weeks and I got the hardest sunburn. And I was like, I thought black people can't sunburn. Try Texas and find out. So I'm going through my old chitter chatters with myself. You know how you just want to record yourself talk? I was going through those and I was hearing some stuff from the last 3 months that really resonated with me. And I kind of just wanted to talk about it. Maybe something positive will come out of this chat and I'll be brave enough to post it and maybe encourage somebody who could be going through something similar. I call it the lone wolf syndrome. The lone wolf syndrome, where the holidays is creeping up on you and you may have had a birthday already this year. We almost to October for 2021. And yes, time does fly even when you're not having fun. And you might have a little bit of anxiety about where to go and what to do with yourself because you ain't so close with your family, or your family has passed away, or you were adopted, you were a foster child, you grew up in the system, or you are miles and miles away and you can't make it to be with your family. Whatever your circumstance is, and I promise you the video was not going this way, but this is where apparently it needs to go for now. Whatever the circumstances of you not being with close people, just remember that as long as you have a great relationship with yourself, you will never be alone. You will never be alone. You really, really will never be alone, because you'll find ways to interact with yourself, which really, in my opinion, is the way to see the true you, to really show up, to really see the fullness of your life, is to learn how to interact with yourself, is to self-actualize, and to be comfortable with yourself, and to be comfortable with those thoughts when it's just you by yourself. When you feeling like Tom Hanks on the Castaway video, okay? Like, and you just crickets, nobody is around. The people that are around you really can't even communicate with for whatever reason. And you sometimes kind of feel like you losing your mind. I'm here to tell you, maybe that's a good thing, because the mind can be so insidious, because it wraps itself, it's almost like a parasite. It just wraps itself around any damn thing, and it's so easily distracted. If you ever tried to sit crisscross applesauce in front of a candle and stare at the flame flicker without letting your mind drift somewhere else, try to do it for 30 seconds and see if you can hold your attention to the candle. I guarantee the majority of us won't be able to do it consistently. It's gonna be you and you at the end of the day. It's true, the saying goes, you was brought into this life alone, unless you was a twin, and you probably gonna die alone. It be like that. It be like that. So while it's gonna be like that, how can you make it work in your favor? While it's gonna be like that any damn way, it's gonna be like that anyway. Like, you're gonna have moments of anxiety. You're gonna have moments where you're tired. You're gonna have moments where you feel alone. You're gonna have moments where you're gonna be surrounded by a bunch of people and you're gonna feel like just misunderstood and alone. You're gonna have moments where you go to bed tired and you wake up tired. You're gonna be like, well, I just went to sleep. It feels like I just went to sleep 5 minutes ago. You look at the clock, you've been sleeping for 9 hours straight. Like, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be times when you gotta try again. You gotta be like, I gotta go get groceries again. Or, I gotta wash laundry, or I gotta do little mundane tasks around the house. I gotta make a phone call. It's gonna be times when you just don't feel like doing nothing. And your perspective is gonna be important for your situation. Your perspective is gonna be important for your situation, because how you perceive the situation is gonna affect your ability to respond in the situation, and it's gonna affect the outcome of the situation. So I'll try my hardest to give you an example. I live alone. I hear a lot of confetti popping. Like, yes, she lives alone. I live alone. And there's times when I enjoy the hell out of it. There's times when I'm just frolicking about in the apartment, chilling, and don't have to share the remote, don't have to worry about like nobody getting in my way, don't have to worry about reminding somebody to do the dishes, like none of that. And I can come and go as I please. I don't have to rush home for nobody. Like, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. But then there's times when I'm sad. And there's times when I wish I could just bump up against somebody and say, hey, you, let's go get some dinner on a Thursday night. And there's nobody there. And that's when I have to take my perspective. Those times when I'm lonely, those times when I'm afraid, those times when I'm sad, those times when I have to make big decisions in my life. Those are the times, and I don't have anybody, that I really can help me, come to a solid conclusion. Those are the time in which way to go, decision making. Those are the times when I gotta look at my perspective and say, this is a privileged problem. This is a privileged problem. This is a privileged problem. It's a privilege for me to be able to get up and go to the grocery store. It means I have money in my pocket. It means I'm able to hold down a job, hold down steady income. It means I'm consistent. It means that I'm disciplined. It means that I'm a saver. It means that I'm mindful about how I use my energy and my money. It means that I can go to the grocery store and get food. It means that I have groceries to even get, because some countries don't even have sustainable groceries. Like some people don't even have access to food. I have all this access to all this food. And I have all this money that I can go spend and buy whatever the hell I want to buy. Whatever kind of food I want to buy, I have access. When I don't want to get up in the morning, and I'd be like, but I have a nice bed that I can sleep in. I might not have slept much. I might have been sleeping. I might not have rested, but I might, but my body was laying there trying its best. Some people don't even have that. Some people don't even have a bed to live in. Some people live in terror. Some people live with gunshots flying all around them at night. Some people's our own worst enemy is right there sleeping next to them. Now we having our conversation. Some people are in the worst relationship, the worst toxic, abusive relationship. And if that's you, I encourage you to get out. Because there ain't nothing like your peace of mind. I tell you. There ain't nothing like being able to go to sleep. And even if you can't sleep, but just being able to lay there and knowing that physically nobody is there, that it's just your mind going. But I can physically go to sleep and not worry about somebody attacking me at night, or coming in on me at night, or being an asshole to me at night. You know what I'm saying? Or during the day. Like, I don't have to worry about all that stuff. And so it's perspective. I think about just the air that I breathe. Even if you like just break it down to a basic level of just living. Like, I have oxygen running through my lungs and in my brain. I'm able to speak clearly. I'm able to articulate myself. A lot of people don't even have that ability. A lot of people have disabilities, physical or mental disabilities. And a lot of people are choosing not to. A lot of people are just as healthy as I am and are making the choice not to utilize their strength and their abled body, to do something good with it. Some people are trashing themselves, whether they know it or not. Some people are trashing themselves with overeating, overdrinking, overindulging in drugs and alcohol. Like, putting themselves in harm's way, living from pillar to post, like not having a plan for their lives, not really caring about the future, not really caring about themselves. Like, it's a privilege to care about yourself. Like, this is a privilege problem. The fact that I care so much about me is a privileged problem. I wouldn't even call it a problem. It's not even a problem. It's just what it is, you know? And so you get to get that way when you're by yourself. I rarely see people get this way when they spend a bunch of time with other people, unless they have that hardcore carved out time in their day where that is what they're doing. They're only focused on themselves. I'm talking about like the high-end people, like the spiritual gurus, monks and all that stuff, like people that had to go, like, spiritually, that was how they was wrapping their lives around their time on earth. They was like in it, being taught, being handheld and spoon-fed spirituality from the time they was a certain age. You know what I'm saying? But for just the average folks like me and you, when you got a lot of people, you got a lot of noise around you, you got a lot of responsibility, you got kids running around, you got grandparents and parents, you got siblings and cousins to attend to, you got employees or co-workers, like community, neighbors, all that stuff, social media, business relationships, the children's PTA stuff, like all that stuff be piling on one person. And it can make you feel like the weight of the world is always on your shoulders. And quite literally it is. Quite literally it is. And so I'll bring it back so I can get off this line. For the lone wolves, that's a whole nother can of worms. I ain't even gonna go down that list. But for the lone wolves, for the people that is aching to be in a relationship, aching to be around folks, aching to have somewhere to go, you know, I would say go volunteer, go do something uplifting for the community, go volunteer at a food bank, go volunteer at a soup kitchen. It'll instantly lift your spirits. You'll be like, whew, I sure am privileged after seeing all them folks out here that don't have much or nothing. That'll switch your perspective in a heartbeat. It really is all about perspective. For me, I like to write when I'm not feeling my best self. When I know I'm feeling just incredibly, intensely yearning for that connection with another person, I like to just go off and write. And for whatever it is, that's extremely cathartic for me, and it seems to get the job done. So whatever it is for you that feels special and creative I would say pour yourself into that too, because it'll all come out in the end, and it'll all make sense, and you'll have that piece of journey, that piece of life. You'll have that piece of you that you can always look back on, because this time won't last forever. You won't always be alone. You won't always have, to figure things out on your own. Something is bound to change, especially if you're a good person. If you're listening to my stuff, you probably are. Because I'm a good person, and like attracts like. So it's not going to always be this way. But while it is this way, shift the perspective and count your blessings and create. There it is in a nutshell. All right. And like I said throughout this whole video, invest in yourself. All right. I love you guys. Till next time. T Speaks. Bye.